A devout nun, loyal to her faith and compassionate to the world. How high could her spiritual realm really be? Amidst the flames of war, she was violated repeatedly by invading soldiers in her own chapel. Though she had already lost her purity, she still held firm to her belief her God would save all living beings and purify this cruel world. But the barbaric soldiers were still not satisfied. Later, she was dragged into a military training camp by a commander named Xiao Qian. Even then, her pure heart filled with kindness and faith remained unshaken. Despite the inhuman suffering she faced, the nun still believed her God would come and rescue her, would come to shatter this world's cruelty. During this time, she enthusiastically supported and encouraged other suffering women, praying daily, on time, without fail. Perhaps guided by fate, when a true divine being finally appeared before her, the nun fell silent. Facing these inhuman demons, a mysterious being named Sunrun appeared. Some say she was a god. Every move she made was ruthless, striking without hesitation. In order to save the humans from the demons, Sunrun fought one of the demon generals in a battle to the death, fighting from streets to alleys, from underground to above ground. At first, Sunrun had no advantage, but thanks to her immortal body and steadily increasing strength, she began to turn the tide. The nun, watching from the side, was stunned. She never imagined that the god she had long worshipped would be so brutal and merciless. After Sunrun barely won, nearly dying, a strange reaction occurred. The heavily injured demon general looked at her and said, "You're truly a bad person." Even though this being wasn't human, even knowing she was a war criminal, the nun, in her supreme compassion, didn't blame her. In fact, she shed tears for the demon, heartbroken, her faith shattered. How could the god she worshipped be a monster who only knew how to kill? As her belief completely collapsed elsewhere, a new Vito 10 divine being was being born. To birth a Vito 10, two conditions must be met: a mass gathering of human thoughts, a heart truly seeking salvation. Coincidentally, this nation met both. The appearance, gender, and name of the new Vito 10 would reflect the strongest-willed human present. And so, a new generation nun Vito 10 was born, modeled after that same devout nun. Sunrun, the original fighter, was clueless about what was happening. Already not very smart, she thought the nun was just messing with her. But in the next moment, a demon attacked from behind. Sunrun was still injured all over. The nun quickly picked her up and fled. As she escaped, Sunrun realized this nun was no longer just human. She had triggered the birth of a new divine being. Just then, another character, Senior Brother, mistook the scene and chased after them. Seeing a new Vito 10 with Sunrun, he gladly accepted her as a new companion. This news shocked Ease, who was listening on the phone. After decades, they had a new comrade. Things were about to get even more exciting. To let Sunrun rest, the idle Senior Brother decided to go explore the battlefield again. But the moment he entered the city, he saw a human nun on the street. He was confused. This nun looked exactly like the new Vito 10. Before he could think further, a cold killing intent came from behind. Though the enemy was just a weakling, the nun didn't thank him. Instead, she slapped him across the face. Senior Brother was puzzled. Even though he had no ill will toward her, he had a strong feeling. This woman would definitely be a big problem in the future. To stop her glass heart from causing issues later, and to avoid complications during battle, he taught her a lesson on the spot, knocking her out cold with a single slap. At this point, I couldn't help but shout, what is the actual gap between the strongest demon and the strongest Vito 10? This Vito 10, with her blank expression and total indifference, was currently the most powerful divine being on earth. As the only surviving god from the great war between gods and demons 800 years ago, she had experienced far more than anyone imagined. During her childhood, she lived alone in fear, kneeling in front of a seal for decades. Overwhelmed by her powerlessness, she once even went mad and tried to escape reality. But as nature slowly recovered, plants regrew, animals repopulate, she finally confirmed that the demons were truly gone. Only then did she begin to move again. Her first goal upon revival, to pursue power that could give her true peace.